Half of Canadians under the age of 55 are struggling to put money into savings, according to a new poll from the Angus Reid Institute. And it's a disaster and heartbreaking to read this in Canada, an advanced nation that has the 10th highest GDP in the world. Another poll by HR Block shows that 43% of Canadians don't allocate any portion of their income to savings. And even among Canadians who do manage to save, 39% save less than 10% of their income, while only 19% save the advised rate of 20% or more. The majority of Canadians under 55 have so little savings that they couldn't even handle a sudden expense of more than $1,000. So brush your teeth well and make sure that you don't need that sudden root canal. No doubt, these are extremely difficult times.
I stopped going out and I don't even have Wi-Fi anymore.
And there has always been a segment of the population who struggle more financially. But what's concerning is that the problem of no savings or low savings isn't just something that low-skilled workers face. Even people with degrees and real skills are dealing with this. Like this civil field technician here, a job that according to Indeed pays on average $65,000 per year. Although Mitchell thinks he's doing well, he can only save pennies. Having no savings and living paycheck to paycheck is nerve-wracking. If an unexpected expense pops up, you're stuck with using your credit card and piling on debt. Having savings, on the other hand, even just $10,000 is a game changer because it gives you time, options, and freedom. Saving enough over the years will set you up for a comfortable retirement since you can't rely on CPP alone because at $770, it's just not enough. And of course, the struggle to save money is not just unique to Canada, but there is a combination of dreadful challenges, external as well as internal, that Canadians face. Number one is the high cost of living, which makes your paycheck disappear as soon as it enters your account.
It's not even cheap to stay home anymore. Every time I go to the grocery store, I'm shocked about the food prices.
According to Numbeo, which tracks the cost of living around the world, Canada as a whole ranks number 17 on the Rent Price Index, ahead of the UK, Germany, and even Sweden. Number 15 on the Grocery Index, and 18 on the Restaurant Price Index. Relevant if you still eat out at all.
Half of Canadians, 51%, are spending more time at home to save money. It's called inflation isolation.
Insider Monkey has ranked Canada the 12th most expensive country to live in worldwide. Congratulations. And even though inflation eased in the past months, everything from rent to groceries is still super expensive because of price hikes from inflation building up over the past years. And once prices rise, they tend not to go back to their initial levels. And this is not even the real inflation rate. So unless you're getting a serious salary bump, by default, you're going to save less and less. And that leads us to another challenge that is faced on a nationwide scale, which is stagnant wage growth. If the price of a carton of milk goes up by 21% and your salary goes up by the same amount or a bit more, then we're all good. But if your salary goes up by much less or even not at all, then we have a problem. Let's look at the real estate market, for example. Although Canadians' incomes grew 46% from 2005 to 2021, home prices grew by 139% in the same time frame. Much faster, so the numbers just don't add up. If we look at employees, their wages have barely budged over the last 5 years. In fact, Canadians have faced 40 years of stagnant incomes, largely due to failings of the government's economic strategies. So if everything's getting more and more expensive while your salary remains about the same, your purchasing power declines. That $60,000 salary that you got when you started your first job 5 years ago now buys you fewer and fewer items. And in case you're interested in a video about why wages have remained stagnant and what's likely to happen in the future, then let me know in the comments down below. So if we combine increasing cost of living with stagnant wages, we've got a new storm brewing. The third challenge is debt. To keep up with rising costs, Canadians are constantly relying on credit cards or loans just to make ends meet.
52% are $200 away from not being able to meet financial obligations.
Canada actually has the highest household debt in the G7. In 2021, Canada's debt, when compared to net disposable income or take-home pay after taxes, was 185%, much higher than even US and German households, which sit at 100%. And yes, this includes mortgages as well as day-to-day consumer purchases. Canada is 19th on the list of 20 countries with the most credit card debt, with a median credit card debt of $1,600. And the average credit balance for Canadians in the third quarter of 2023 was $4,265. So that's in addition to any mortgages or car loans. And this over-leveraging is a big problem because it poses a huge risk in terms of serviceability or the ability to pay back loans and interest.
Many Canadians have racked up costly debt.
Half of my paycheck is going into paying off the credit card.
Families and the entire economy will be more vulnerable.
And if loans and credit cards are not being paid back on time, the unpaid balance and compounding interest can soon roll into an unmanageable snowball. So instead of saving money and having a surplus, many Canadians are running a negative. The final problem that makes it really difficult for Canadians to save money is the high taxation. Take personal income taxes, for example. Canada is ranked number 25 out of 172 countries in the list of highest taxed countries in the world. While Canada isn't the highest taxed overall, it's still within the upper third of the highest taxed countries. If you're an employee, before you get to save even 1 cent of your income, a huge chunk of that first goes to the CRA. So how to fix this problem of low or non-existent savings? How to stop living paycheck to paycheck despite all of this and finally start saving up some serious money. On this channel here, we're all about taking matters into our own hands and not just complaining. So here are 4 strategies to counteract these savings obstacles. Number 1 is to tackle the big expenses. Of course, you can save a few cents by keeping the lights off when you go to the bathroom at night, although you'll only get that far, literally. The only things that are going to make a real dent and save you serious money are big budget items and big mindset shifts around the big 3, which are housing, food, and transportation. I know it's not a popular idea, but consider downsizing your home and move to a cheaper place or even city. If that's absolutely impossible, then tackle the next 2 biggest items. Make eating out a rare occasion and learn how to cook and invite your friends to dinner instead. Get rid of that fuel-guzzling car if you can and take public transportation instead. Also, make sure that you have a written budget and track your expenses. If you want to save more money, you have to first know exactly where all that money is going. Number 2 is to tackle your debt, if you have any. If you have a series of debt that you never manage to pay off, try the snowball method. This means paying off smaller debts first while making minimum payments on larger ones. As each small debt is cleared, you apply the freed up money to the next debt and build momentum like a snowball running downhill. Another thing that you can start doing to save up money is to start investing. And yes, I know it sounds counterintuitive. How in the world can you invest money if you don't even have money saved up? Here's the thing. Once you start investing a small amount of money, even just $50, and you see that money growing, it will motivate you to invest more, which will push you to save more money because now you have a goal. Not just to save, but also to grow that money. And you can very easily start investing today on investment platforms like Wealthsimple. I started using Wealthsimple about 4 years ago and I just stayed on it because it's just super simple to use, especially for beginning investors, and because they charge no commission fees for buying stocks and ETFs. And in case you want to try out Wealthsimple, you can use my link in the descriptions down below, and once your account is funded, you will get $25 to get started. The third thing that you must have to save more money is a career strategy. If you've been a great or even top performer so far, try to get a serious promotion that leads to a meaningful salary increase. If you think that that is not going to happen, or that your field simply doesn't pay that much, consider switching to another career, another field that has higher earning potential. On top of that, also start building alternative income streams from self-employment so you're not just reliant on that one salary. And the fourth thing that you need to do is to try and save on taxes. Learn how to save taxes and defer taxes. When you file your taxes each year, you can increase the amount of tax refunds you get by declaring the right amounts of deductions. And if you have a business, if you're self-employed, you can deduct even more expenses. But note that I'm not a tax advisor or a financial advisor, so I would suggest you to get the help of a tax advisor on how you can minimize your taxes legally so you can keep more money in your pocket to save and invest. These strategies are simple, but definitely not easy. If saving money right now seems almost impossible to you, remember that it's not a fail or success thing until you get to the end. Rather, improving your finances is a continuous journey. Like this guy here who has diligently saved, growing his portfolio to over $100,000 despite earning a low income below $50,000. If you want to get ahead financially and start building wealth even in Canada, then make sure that you watch this video over here. Don't forget to drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video and how saving has been for you personally. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.